Welcome to a study of the Gospel of John. Lesson 8, the woman taken in adultery. This is a strange little pericope because we don't really know where it should go in the canon of the New Testament. Here, it's in chapter 8, but there are manuscripts of Luke where it's in Luke. The only real explanation probably lies in the fact that somebody in the know, like an apostle, knew that the event happened, but due to historical accident, no one knew exactly when and where it happened. Editors must have often placed it at the beginning of chapter 8 in John's Gospel, but some versions place it in Luke. Its textual status seems to be that of a valid event in the life and teachings of Jesus, which somehow came to exist apart from any one of the Gospels. Since the NIV places it here, we will deal with it here. It's based on the historical setting of a group of Jewish leaders catching a woman in the actual act of adultery. Now, there's several things about their report that is important to remember. First of all, where's the man? In fact, I suspect that some of the men who caught her in the act were somehow involved in adultery with her, and that made them vulnerable to Jesus' way of teaching. On the other hand, we're not sure, and there's no way of determining exactly when this happened. So just keep that in mind. We're putting it in the place that the NIV puts it, but we don't know when it happened. It seems to me it happened on the great day of questioning during the last week of Jesus' life. And they brought this woman and raised their accusation. And they say, "What do you say, Jesus, about this woman?" And Jesus stooped down and wrote in the dirt. And I have listened to a dozen sermons telling me what Jesus wrote in the dirt. There's only one thing wrong with that: nobody knows what he wrote in the dirt. I suspect it had something to do with the name or position or authority of the Pharisees that brought the woman to him, and their participation in the deception. But nobody will ever know. Jesus does not condone the woman's adultery here, but he does condemn the position and the way the Jewish leaders were acting. And he waited, and the Jewish leaders faded away. Reminded of Douglas MacArthur, the World War II general. He said, "Old soldiers never die, they just fade away." And I never do think about this passage that I don't think about that phrase, because that's exactly what the opponents did. They faded away. And so somehow or other, they were in a deceptive mode, and Jesus took advantage of it. But then he turned to the woman. He said, I had no part in this, but you need to go and stop sinning. Jesus never condoned sin. And he tells this woman, I am not going to condemn you, but you need to stop sinning. She probably was some kind of a street-walking prostitute for them to take her. Be that as it may, this happened somewhere close to the time of the feeding of the 5,000. Thank you, and have a good day.